This Saturday, the Premier League heats up again after the international break as Chelsea travel to face Nottingham Forest, a side desperate for a win to turn their season around. Can Chelsea build up on that thrilling win over Liverpool before the international break, or will Forest find their rhythm under pressure? Welcome to ID Talk TV, your home of real football conversation. In this video, we'll preview the game between Nottingham Forest versus Chelsea. I'll bring you the team news, my predicted 11, the tactical analysis, and score prediction. So stick around as I take you through the preview between Nottingham Forest versus Chelsea. Chelsea visit Nottingham Forest at the City Ground to take on Ange Postecoglou men in a lunchtime kickoff, which is 12:30 p.m. UK time. Going into this game, Chelsea will be riding on a confident boost after a dramatic late win against the defending champion Liverpool before the international break. Meanwhile, Nottingham Forest and Ange Postecoglou are under severe pressure as the manager is yet to pick a win after he was being appointed as Nottingham Forest manager. Going into this game, Chelsea, coming from the back of a 2-1 victory over Liverpool, the defending champion, while Nottingham Forest, on the other hand, are going into this game with a 2-0 loss to Newcastle United before the international break. Games between Nottingham Forest and Chelsea have always been a tight and keenly contested game, and previous results have actually shown that. The last 5 meetings between Nottingham Forest and Chelsea have actually seen Chelsea 1-2, Nottingham Forest 1-1, and 2 draw. And the results from those matches have always been a narrow victory, like what we saw last season in the last game of the Premier League season, where Chelsea traveled to the City Ground to defeat Nottingham Forest by 1-0, and that was how we secured top 4 finish last season. And Nottingham Forest, on the other hand, the last time Nottingham Forest defeated Chelsea in front of their home fan was in 1997 of January. So it has always been an interesting place for Chelsea to go to, even though it's a tough ground. But then Chelsea always have a way of getting all 3 points or pick a point. But this time around, I don't expect Chelsea to visit the City Ground to actually get a point. What we need going into this game is nothing short of 3 points, because this Nottingham Forest side currently are struggling under Ange Postecoglou, who is the second manager Nottingham Forest will be using this particular season. And already, talking about Nottingham Forest, the owner of Nottingham Forest, Ange Marinakis, is considering replacing Ange Postecoglou, the second manager for the season, and reports have it that Sean Dyche is just by the wings. So Nottingham Forest so far have not been in a good form. They have been struggling, and the odds and statistics favor Chelsea going into this particular encounter. Earlier today, Enzo Maresca had his press conference, and in that press conference, Enzo Maresca was asked about the availabilities of players. Now, Enzo Maresca on Cole Palmer said that Cole Palmer will be ruled out for 6 more weeks. Invariably, Cole Palmer is absent for tomorrow's game. And also, Badiashile is also ruled out for injury until December. And alongside Levi Colwill, who have been on the sideline with anterior cruciate ligament and will be out for the majority part of the season. So, players that are doubtful going into this game, the manager went on to say that Moses Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez, and Pedro Neto are all doubtful going into this game against Nottingham Forest. So, even the manager himself, talking about Enzo Maresca will not be in the touchline for this game due to the red card he actually picked against Liverpool. So, Enzo Maresca has been given a 1-match ban and also a fine of £8,000 due to the celebration he had after Chelsea got that late winner against Liverpool at Stamford Bridge. So, the assistant manager, talking about Willy Caballero, will be the one at the touchline in order to see things going on in the field of play as Chelsea visit Nottingham Forest to take on Nottingham Forest at the City Ground. So, I haven't seen players available for tomorrow's encounter, because the manager went on to say when it comes to the defense line, where Chelsea have been having a series of issues due to injury crisis, the manager the manager actually gave us that boost of confidence that Tosin Adarabioyo is back, Wesley Fofana is back, and Trevor Chalobah also will be available for tomorrow's game. So when it comes to the centre back, the players we have available have all returned for tomorrow's game against Nottingham Forest. With Chelsea lining up in a 4-2-3 formation, this will be my predicted 11. In goal will be Robert Sanchez in between the stick. Full backs, I'll go with Mark Cucurella at the left back and Reece James at the right back. The centre backs, I'll go with Trevor Chalobah and George Achampong. The midfield pivot, I'll go with Romeo Lavia and Moses Caicedo. While the attacking midfield through the left wing, I'll go with Jimmy Gittins. The central attacking midfield role, I'll go with Facundo Bonanote. The right wing will be Gustavo William. And up front will be Joao Pedro. So this is why I actually picked this 11 as my predicted 11. No doubt, in goal, Robert Sanchez, that actually picked itself. Now, looking at the centre-back pairing, where I actually pick George Achampong and Trevor Chalobah. Trevor Chalobah was not injured. He was suspended due to red card after I got a red card in our game against Brighton. And we went on to lose that game by 3-1. Trevor Chalobah was fully suspended. And before then, Trevor Chalobah have been having some good run of form in the back. So, returning into the game, I'll pick Trevor Chalobah and George Achampong. George Achampong was excellent against Liverpool. I mean, the way he actually marked Alexander Isak in that particular game. Throughout a stay in that field, before he got injured, there was no one mistake on George Achampong. So the returning of Tosin Adarabioyo and Wesley Fofana, their fitness level is what I cannot actually guarantee because the manager in his press conference did not actually state their fitness level. He only said the players are available for selection. We don't know if they are fully fit, but with what we saw in George Achampong, I haven't recovered from that knock because it was a minor one. So I prefer to take Trevor Chalobah to partner George Achampong at the heart of Chelsea defense line. The midfield pivot, I will go with Romeo Lavia and Moses Caicedo. Even though Moses Caicedo was reportedly being doubtful going into this game, but I want to believe Moses Caicedo his presence is needed, and I believe he will be fit to play for us tomorrow. And the attacking midfield trio, it was also reported that Pedro Neto and Enzo Fernandez are also doubtful going into this game. In that attacking midfield trio, the absence of Enzo Fernandez, Andre Santos can also still fill that role and play it very well. But since Andre Santos is also coming back from injury, I'll prefer to take Facundo Bonanote to start, and also Jimmy Gittins coming on as a substitute in that game against Liverpool. In fact, for the first time, I actually saw the best of Jimmy Gittins in Chelsea colour. So coming on in that game against Liverpool, Jimmy Gittins was excellent. I mean, the little time, the 24 minutes or 26 minutes thereabout he had in that particular encounter was excellent. So that is what we hope to see more of that from Jimmy Gittins. So against Nottingham Forest, I will take Jimmy Gittins to actually start since Pedro Neto is doubtful. And I will want Pedro Neto and also Enzo Fernandez to recover fully before our Champions League clash in midweek against Ajax. And right wing, Gustavo William, no doubt, one talent that is actually beginning to show himself as part of Chelsea team, even at a very youthful age. 18 years old, Gustavo William, doing great stuff for Chelsea. And up front is Joao Pedro, reliable at every point in time. Once he is given that assistant he needs up front, I think Joao Pedro is one attack-minded player that Chelsea is looking up to deliver our season. So this will be my predicted 11 against Nottingham Forest going into this game. So what will be your own predicted 11? Drop your comment down below. So looking at Chelsea predicted 11, I know with the way Nottingham Forest have been struggling going into this game, they wouldn't want to sit back and soak up the pressure in order to be able to counter Chelsea going forward. But then the mistake they will be making is because Nottingham Forest under Ange Postecoglou play in a 3-4-3 system. If the wing back, talking about the Nottingham Forest wing back joint attack, that could be a very good advantage going forward as they will actually load Chelsea in that attack forward side. In fact, there will actually be an overload on Chelsea if Nottingham Forest wing back joins the attack going forward. But it will be very dangerous for them when they lose the ball, because Chelsea at that point will now have every wing in order to operate on. So with the pace of Gustavo Willian and also with Jimmy Gittins, if Nottingham Forest make such mistake, it will be very, very dangerous for them. And also, the central pairing of Nottingham Forest needs to be very physical and movable if they want to actually stand Chelsea in that midfield game. Because Chelsea midfield at this point in time, currently in the EPL, is very healthy. Whether it is the pairing of Moses Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez, or the pairing of Moses Caicedo and Romeo Lavia, Chelsea have a very healthy midfield. And once Chelsea are able to lock up that midfield with Moses Caicedo and Romeo Lavia leading the attack from that point going forward, then Chelsea wingers have a lot to do, because they will have the space to actually run behind the Nottingham Forest defense line. And one interesting thing going into this game, should Gustavo Willian actually start from that right side, his pace will be very instrumental and his dribbling ability will be top notch for Chelsea, because that Chelsea will look to capitalize on the skillful flair of Gustavo Willian to break the defense line of Nottingham Forest. Vulnerability, that one is sure. The Nottingham Forest defense line is very, very vulnerable at the back. So, and that has been one of the major problems Nottingham Forest have been having so far. But with this international break, probably the manager might have been able to see how he actually, see how he could actually fix that problem going forward. But then, with the pace, with the attacking strength and ability Chelsea have going forward, I think the Nottingham Forest defense line is still going to suffer tomorrow. So Chelsea will definitely collect the midfield, hang on to the ball with our fullbacks or our inverted midfielder joining the attack line. And Chelsea, whenever Chelsea evolve in such kind of play, full of attack going forward, then it will be very dangerous for the opposing half. And that was one thing we actually saw with in the game of Chelsea against Liverpool. At some point in time, you can't even tell if Malo Gusto was playing as a right back or he was playing as a midfielder. The same thing goes to Marc Cucurella, and Chelsea actually had control of that particular game against Liverpool from start to finish. I expect to see the same thing in tomorrow's game against Nottingham Forest, because we have the attacking strength, we have the attacking power, we have everything in our favor going into this game. And I want to believe Chelsea have what it takes to actually punish Nottingham Forest in tomorrow's encounter in front of their own fan. And I don't expect anything short of 3 points from that particular game from Chelsea. So, prediction. It's definitely going to be a very tight game, that is for sure. It's going to be a very tight one. Tactically, it's going to be tight because Enzo Maresca on the other hand will not be in the touchline. It's going to be Willy Caballero talking about the assistant manager. But then, before the game, in the dugout, he might have dished out every tactical information the player actually needs going into this game. Like I said, it's going to be a very tight game because lots of players, talking about the Nottingham Forest players, those that were not invited for the international break by their respective countries, have actually had enough rest. And also, even on the side of Chelsea, I know Chelsea had a couple of players that actually travel for the international break. But then, tomorrow's game at the City Ground is definitely going to be a tight one. And with our defense line, though, the way they performed against Liverpool, I mean, it was actually top-notch. If they can continue in that pace, well, I don't see them conceding any goal against Nottingham Forest tomorrow. So, in my prediction, I will go Chelsea 2, Nottingham Forest 0. That would be my prediction for tomorrow's game. Chelsea 2, Nottingham Forest 0. What will be your prediction? Drop your thoughts down below. Do you think Chelsea will keep their momentum going, or will Nottingham Forest surprise everyone at home? Drop your thoughts down below. Thank you very much for watching. Stay passionate, stay football minded. Till I see you in my next video.